My wife brought her lover to family dinner. What I did next traumatized everyone forever. Hello, everyone. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's begin the video. Using a throwaway for obvious reasons, with certain specifics modified to preserve anonymity. My wife snuck her lover into our family dinner. What I did after that devastated everyone forever. I'm sitting here in my home office, a glass of bourbon in my hand, finally ready to tell the full story. It's been 3 months since I burned my entire life to the ground and then rebuilt from the ashes. Some of you might judge me for what I did, but honestly, I don't care. My name's Jake. I'm 34, and I work as a senior cybersecurity specialist for one of the biggest banks in the U.S. I bring in around $250, $0 a year. Not bragging, just giving you some context ahead of what's coming next. I was married to for 7 years. She's 32, used to be an HR director at a manufacturing firm, making about $180K, but that was then. We met back in college, me finishing my master in computer science, her in her last year of business administration. She was stunning, smart, ambitious, and driven. I was drawn to her intelligence just as much as her looks. We dated for 3 years, tied the knot, bought a house in Dallas. I thought we'd built something solid that would last. The first sign that something wasn't right popped up in March. Suddenly got obsessed with Pilates. Now staying fit wasn't unusual for her. She always took care of herself. But this was different. She went from going 3 times a week to 5, shopping for new workout gear at the fancy shops in Highland Park. She kept talking about how her core was getting stronger, how flexible she was becoming. Then came the weird phone behavior. We'd always been open about everything. Passcodes, leaving phones around, sharing passwords. But suddenly her iPhone was locked with a fingerprint. She angled her phone away whenever texting, made calls in the bathroom. When I asked, she just laughed it off, said it was work stuff, a joke. You know how confidential HR matters can be, right? But the lingerie should have been my wake-up call. I found lace in her drawer, a $15, $0 worth of delicate scraps hidden among her usual clothes. When did she buy that, and why hadn't I seen her wear it? That was strange enough, but what really raised my eyebrows was the weekend trip to Phuket for some conference she'd never gone on before. HR managers usually don't need to travel for work, at least not regularly. But suddenly, she had to attend this urgent leadership summit. She packed enough clothes to last a week, including that expensive lingerie. I'm not stupid. I didn't go snooping through her phone or follow her around like some obsessed loser. But I'm a cybersecurity guy, so I knew how to find information when I needed to. The receipts were in her car, crumpled in the door pocket. Rooftop bar at the Martin, 2 cocktails, 2 meals, 800 baht total. The date: the same night she claimed to be at a department birthday party in Laotian. That's when I reached out to former detective in the Thai police, now running his own private investigations agency. A colleague I trust recommended him for a corporate espionage case. I met in a coffee shop near Victory Monument. Handed him's photo and schedule. How far do you want me to go? He asked. I replied, I want everything: photos, videos, audio if possible. I need to know who, where, when, how many times. He quoted me 50K baht. I paid him double 100K. I wanted his best work. 2 weeks later, my world shattered. Called me on a Tuesday afternoon while I was deep in a security audit. His tone was cold and professional. Mr. Jake, I've got what you asked for. I think we should meet in person. I left work early, told my team I had a doctor's appointment, and met him at the same coffee shop. He slid a tablet across the table. The first picture was a punch to the gut, holding hands with some guy at a rooftop restaurant inn. The second showed them kissing in an elevator. The third was them entering a hotel room at the. His name was Aaron, a CFO at her company. Married, 2 kids, wife pregnant again. Then came more photos, at hotels, in his BMW and parking garages, in private karaoke rooms in. The metadata confirmed it had been going on for at least 4 months. Added there was video footage too. From yesterday, he said carefully, they went to a short-time hotel near. I watched it all, my wife of 7 years with another man, moaning his name, calling him daddy, begging for more. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. Instead, I memorized every detail, letting the truth sink in. When it was over, I transferred another 50 baht into his account. Keep watching them, I told him. I need more. More, he asked. Jake, I think you have enough. I'm not filing for divorce yet. I want every meeting, every text, every hotel receipt. He nodded slow. How long until I tell you to stop? I asked. That night I went home and stared her in the eyes while I did it, watching that video, thinking about how little I knew her. She kissed me, told me she loved me. I almost laughed. The next 2 weeks became a test of my self-control. I worked, I ate dinner with her, I watched TV, I went to bed. Routine, orderly, all while fed me daily updates. I figured out their patterns. Tuesdays and Thursdays were Pilates days. She went to the gym first, then met Aaron afterward, probably thinking her gym check-ins on social media were her alibi. Saturdays, she'd go shopping with her sister Molly, who hadn't visited Bangkok in 6 months. I used my hacking skills to dig deeper, logged into her Line account, read every message from months back, saw the pet names, the photos they shared, the promises about their future. The lies made me sick. Then I found the Phuket trip details, their 3-day affair at a resort in Kamala. They even took pictures on the beach. She sent him a bikini shot with the caption, "Can't wait until we don't have to hide anymore." Hide, like I was just an obstacle in their way of happiness. 2 weeks into all this surveillance, she made her fatal mistake. She suggested we host an anniversary dinner, 7 years. We should celebrate properly, she said over breakfast, all smiles. Invite both our families, show them how happy we are. I almost choked on my coffee, the nerve of her. I smiled and nodded, playing along. That's a fantastic idea. Let's make it special. She looked pleased, probably thinking she'd outsmarted me. That she was still the perfect wife while secretly screwing her boss. The dinner was the perfect cover, made her seem like the ideal spouse to everyone. I had 3 weeks to prepare. After 2, some friends asked how I was doing. The truth, I'd never been more focused in my life. I went to work, solved complex security problems, protected millions. Then I came home and refined my plan. First step, upgrade our home security. Told I was worried about break-ins in the neighborhood. I installed cameras in every room, high definition, night vision, motion activated. She thought it was sweet I was protecting our home. I put them everywhere: living room, kitchen, hallways, even our bedroom. All recordings fed to a secure server only I could access. 1 week later, I got the alert, her and Aaron in my house, in my bed, while I was out at an official conference. I checked the footage on my phone, rage boiling inside me. I went to the hotel gym, pounding a punching bag for an hour, but I didn't go home. I didn't confront anyone yet. Instead, I saved every second of that footage. Meanwhile, hit. Turns out Aaron wasn't just cheating. He had a whole rotation, photos with other women at the office, hotel receipts, credit card statements. His wife Lisa, 35, was pregnant with their third. They lived in Nantucket. She had no idea about any of it. I made a decision. She deserved to know, but not yet. Not until I was ready. Preparing for the big night, threw herself into the anniversary dinner planning, acting like her life depended on keeping up the facade. Catered from that fancy place in Uptown, flowers, a photographer, even a new dress 20 at. I wanted everything perfect. She kept saying our families needed to see how well we were doing, as if she cared about her family while she was out screwing her boss. I went along with it, offering suggestions. Should we invite her, her mentor? She hesitated, then agreed, probably thinking that refusing would seem suspicious. That week, I contacted my lawyer, Mark, the best divorce attorney in Dallas. I laid out all my evidence. Her reaction when she saw it was priceless. "This is comprehensive," she said. "With this, you'll keep everything, the house, the cars, most of your assets." I cut her off. "I want more. I want scorched earth." We strategized for hours, Thailand's divorce laws, protecting assets, public reputation. By the end, I had a clear plan. The week before the dinner, I assembled a masterpiece: 20 minutes of edited footage, hotel videos, security camera recordings, chat logs, photos from their trips, all arranged chronologically. I made copies, USB drives for the older relatives, watermarked with dates and times, irrefutable evidence. My brother Nate, who's always been perceptive, finally asked, "Jake, what's going on? You seem different lately." I told him I'd be fine. I needed him to know what I was dealing with so he wouldn't think I'd snapped. 3 days before the dinner, confirmed he'd attend with his wife. Told me this with a nervy smile, like she knew I was onto her. "He's bringing Lisa too," she said, anxious. "She's pregnant, so make sure she's comfortable." It was ironic. The woman who was supposed to care about her family was planning to put them in the middle of her affair. I just smiled and said we'd take good care of them. That night initiated intimacy. First time in weeks, probably guilt or just her way of pretending everything was normal. I went along, making it memorable for myself, knowing it might be the last. The night before the dinner, I couldn't sleep, not from nerves but anticipation. Everything was set, evidence ready, video queued on our smart TV, my lawyer on standby. Slept peacefully beside me, murmuring occasionally. I watched her, my wife, the woman I once loved, trusted, built my life with, but I felt nothing. Tomorrow her world would fall apart, and I was the one who'd bring it down. Saturday arrived perfect and sunny. Buzzed with nervous energy, directing the caterers, fussing with decorations. I helped set up tables outside, stringing lights in the garden, your classic good husband act. "You're amazing," she said, kissing me quickly. "Thanks for being so supportive." Supportive, right? Guests started arriving at 5, my parents from family from a nearby town, her sister Molly. All the relatives, friends, a total of 33 people. Fraser and his wife came at 5:45. I watched from the kitchen window as they parked. Fraser looked tense, adjusting his collar repeatedly. His wife Lisa was radiant, pregnant, wearing a modest dress that showed her bump. Met them at the door with her best, friendly but distant smile. I could see her trying to act like the ideal hostess, but her face was tense. She introduced them. "This is from work and his wife." I shook his hand, eyeing him straight. His palms were sweaty. I said, "Pleasure to meet you." Spoke highly of his mentorship. She mentioned how he'd been pivotal in her career. Lisa smiled politely, unaware of the storm brewing. Dinner was served at 6:30, classic Thai dishes, her favorites. I sat at the head of the table with on my right Fraser and Lisa with a clear view of the TV, my parents on my left, her family across. Everyone eating, drinking, sharing stories, our 7 years together. Her dad raised his glass to many more, he said. Everyone toasted. I raised my own glass of whiskey, smiling. "To truth and honesty," I said softly, squeezed my hand. The conversation flowed, work talk, family gossip, wedding plans. I kept a calm composure, poured refills, made everyone comfortable. Lisa complimented our home. I told her about the security system, very advanced. I said, "Records everything clearly. You can't be too careful these days." Slav was tense. By 8, the dinner was winding down. It was time for speeches, family tradition. I stood, tapped my glass. "Everyone, I want your attention. 7 years ago, I married a woman I thought I'd spend my life with. Was everything I wanted, smart, beautiful, ambitious. I believed we were building something special." Her eyes flicked to me, tears already forming. If only she knew what was coming. Marriage is built on promise, love, respect, loyalty. We entrust our hearts, our futures. That trust is precious, and once broken, it can't really be repaired. The room got quiet. I sensed her flicker of panic. "Tonight," I continued, "I want to share a story about trust, betrayal, and consequences. Consider it my gift to you all." I pulled out my phone, activated the smart TV. The big screen flickered on behind me. "What are you doing?" whispered, panicked. But I didn't answer. I hit play. The first image was of her chat with him, telling her what he wanted to do, her replying excitedly. Gasps echoed from the family members who saw it. Then came the photos, holding hands at restaurants, kissing in elevators, entering hotel rooms clear as day. "Stop it!" yelled, rushing toward me. I stepped back. The video started, security footage from a hotel, them entering a room, and then the audio, her moaning another man's name inside our own house, in our bed. That bedroom, that bed, our history, used for her affair. Her parents shrieked. Her dad shot to his feet, fuming, covered her mouth, trembling. Fraser stared, eyes burning with anger. "You filmed us." His voice cracked. I laughed, deep, cold. "Yeah, that's my house too." The videos kept playing, her calling him daddy, begging, moaning. The sound of skin on skin echoing across the garden. "Turn it off." Her father roared. I did. Silence fell thick and heavy. I broke it calmly. "There's more," I said, pulling out envelopes, evidence for every member of the family, chat logs, hotel receipts, credit card statements, photos. I handed one to her father and others to her mother and aunt. Quietly crying, looked at the evidence. A shocking mixture, not just her husband's affair with, but with others too. Hotel records dating back 2 years, photos with different women clear as day. She was silent, processing everything. Suddenly lunged at me, furious. My brother Niles intervened, shoving him away. "Touch my brother and I end you," he growled. Tried to plead, "Please, let's talk," but he was trembling, was on her knees now, clutching at my pants, begging, "It's not what it looks like. We can explain." I pointed my phone at her. "You mean the plan to divorce me right after the promotion, the talks about hiding assets?" Her face paled. Her father approached, practically ready to strike. Instead, he spat at his feet. "How dare you?" he shouted. Fraser started backing out, clutching his arm as she jerked away. "Don't you touch me," she hissed, slapping him hard enough to crack the quiet air. My mother said nothing. She just walked to, still kneeling, and looked down at her with disdain. "I treated you like my own daughter," she said softly. "Get out of my son's house." She told to leave. The family started to leave, their shame visible, ran to his car, refusing to go with him. My brother offered to take her home. Family looked at her in disgust, her mascara smudged. Within 20 minutes, only my family remained. The catering staff had vanished. Too, probably the chaos scared them off. I poured another whiskey, sat alone in the garden. My father approached quietly. "How long have you known?" he asked. "6 weeks," I replied. "And you waited," he said. I told him I needed them to see. Everyone needed to see her for who she really was, just like I had. He nodded slowly. "And now I take everything else." A week later, the fallout was brutal. Tried to come back that night. Found her keys didn't work. I'd changed the locks. She called me 47 times, left messages. Apology, anger, desperation. I ignored all of them. My lawyer, Mark, filed for divorce Monday morning. The evidence was overwhelming. In Texas, adultery is grounds for fault-based divorce. With what I had, she wouldn't get a cent. But I wasn't finished. The next day, I sent all the evidence to her company's board, CEO, HR director, explaining how they were both using company resources for affairs. By Wednesday, they were suspended pending investigation. Showed up at my office, got kicked out by security. Kicked him out, filed for divorce, moved back with her parents and her other children. She took him for everything: house, cars, custody, the baby. Thai courts don't look kindly on cheating husbands, especially with pregnant wives. Tried staying with her sister Molly, but she threw her out after 2 days, furious about her lies. Last I heard, she was living in some cheap apartment in Old Town. And the company's investigation, it revealed a lot more. Had been cooking the books, using affairs as leverage to threaten female employees. Had been covering for him, threatening. Criminal charges followed. Both lost their jobs. No severance, no recommendations, no benefits. I watched it all happening to keep my life comfortable. I kept my routine: work, home, sleep. The divorce would be final in 2 months. I'd keep what's mine. Now, 3 months later, I'm sitting in my office, same chair, same bourbon. Everything else has changed. The divorce is done. She got nothing. She tried to fight it, claiming I violated her privacy with the recordings, but the judge dismissed it. What I recorded in my house is perfectly legal. She's working at some tiny recruitment agency, earning about $40 a year, living in a studio above a 7-Eleven. Her family still won't speak to her. The shame from that night haunts her forever. He's finished, lost his job, his reputation, and faces jail time for embezzlement. Lisa, she gave birth to their girl. He'll be paying child support for all 4 kids, working any job he can get. But here's the truth about revenge: it's hollow. I thought destroying them would make me feel better, that I'd be whole again. It didn't. It just made me feel empty. I'm in therapy now, talking with doctor, recommended by my brother. We discuss trust, rebuilding, moving forward. Slowly, it's helping. I've started dating again, nothing serious yet. It's hard to trust anymore when you've seen how easily someone can betray you. But I'm trying. Some will say I went too far, that I should just divorced quietly and moved on with dignity. Maybe they're right, but dignity doesn't pay the bills when your ex cheats and takes half your assets. Dignity doesn't prevent them from laughing while they're in your bed. I'm not proud of everything I did, but I don't regret it either. They chose their paths, I chose mine, and now I live with the consequences of my decisions. The house is quiet now, sometimes I think about selling it too. Many memories, but then I remember I won. This is my house, my life, my future. She took 7 years from me. I took everything from her, fair deal. Since some of you asked, yeah, I'm still in touch with Lisa. Not friends exactly, but we check in. She's doing okay, standing strong. Her family around her and her babies healthy and beautiful. Fraser has seen her once under supervision at court. And no, nothing happened between us. She's been through enough without adding complications. Some lines aren't meant to be crossed, even in revenge. To the person who called me a pathetic beta pretending to be alpha, the bank account, house deed, and my empty ring finger say otherwise. Thanks for the laugh. And finally, to anyone out there cheating, listen up. Your partner isn't as stupid as you think. The truth always comes out, and when it does, you risk losing everything. Choose wisely. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. If you liked this story, please like, share, and subscribe.